it's hard to argue against it. 2024 was the year this album completely took over the hip-hop scene. Today we're breaking down two of my favorite tracks from Metro Boomin and features We Don't Trust You, Type Shit and Cinderella.
Yeah, put up, I don't hang with rats, that's some new type shit. Stuck together, sit red talk to the devil, Rosetta Stone forever.
We'll look at the production techniques behind both records and then use those ideas to build two brand new beats. If there's another artist, album or song you'd like me to break down next, let me know in the comments. The main melody is built around a church bell. One thing I noticed is how the melody constantly jumps between low and high notes, giving it a really distinctive rhythm. Using the idea as inspiration, I created my own version with Omnisphere. Next, I layered in a pad as the first counter melody. Since the church bell already dominates the mix and defines identity of the beat, I chose something much softer that could support it without getting in the way. Then I added a synth lead. The original uses a descending melody in a very high octave. I kept the same octave but flipped it into an ascending melody to make it my own. The original also uses brass accents to reinforce the low end and keep everything grounded. Instead, I used the piano to serve the same purpose while giving it a slightly different character. For the interlude, I followed the same chord progression from the original, flat 6 to 4 minor to 1 minor. To make the chords feel bigger, I layered another triad on top of each one. I also chose an arpeggiated pad so the harmony would feel more alive without changing the chord. After that, I layered another pad with a different texture. One of my favorite ideas from the original happens on the final 1 minor chord, where it alternates between 1 minor and flat 7 to create a rising feeling. That little trick is probably the most creative moment in the whole beat for me. Finally, I added a synth bass following the root notes of each chord. Whenever the chord changes, I used approach notes to make the movement feel smoother. Then I added microshift to whiten the bass just enough without losing its weight. The drums are actually pretty minimal. They're built around a simple 808 snare and 2-step hi-hat pattern. Frequent head stops create most of the groove. I also added a hey chant and 2 different openings to give the drums more depth. One of my favorite production tricks from the original happens right before the interlude. The entire drum loop is bounced and reversed instead of introducing new sound. It's a simple idea, but completely changes the energy. If you've been struggling to come up with fresh drum patterns, I definitely recommend checking out my Dark Pulse drum MIDI kit. It includes 396 MIDI files covering 808s, kicks, snares, hats, openets, percussion, synth bass, and so much more. I decided to niche down and design it specifically for producers making beats inspired by Future, 21 Savage, Lil Baby, Southside, Metro Boomin, and similar artists. You'll also get 20 free beats, 20 free loops, plus a secret discount coupon inside. Now let's jump into the second beat. The beat revolves around an electric piano style melody that repeats throughout the track. The chord progression follows a simple 1 minor to flat 3 movement. I started with basic triads, added a few melodic notes on top, and then processed everything through halftime. The next element is the dreamy guitar and harp style melody. It mostly follows chord tones, but the rhythm is what really matters. Instead of placing every note perfectly on the grid, I intentionally push some notes slightly off. Without that, you lose the dreamy and floating feeling that makes the original so unique. After that, I added delay with higher feedback to stretch out the atmosphere. I also recreated the small accent that appears at the beginning of each phrase using chord tones. Then I added a pad as a counter melody. This one only appears during the drumless sections to help create a bridge between different parts of the beat. Finally, I introduced a synth bass just like the original, where it only appears near the end of the arrangement. I I separated the drums into A and B sections. In the A section, the 808 only follows the root notes. In the B section, I introduced more note variation to create movement. For the hi-hats in the A section, I actually started with the MIDI file called Audemars from my Dark Pulse drum MIDI kit to speed up the workflow. Then I modified that pattern for the B section to make it feel a little more dynamic. If you want to pick up any sound kits from audioarchive.com, add them to your cart and enter this code at checkout. That'll give you an extra 50% off your entire order. The code is only available for 1 week after this video goes live, so don't wait too long. If you'd like to try before buying, there's also a free version of the Dark Pulse drum MIDI kit available. You can grab that along with a bunch of other free kits at audioarchive.com. Today we broke down 2 of my favorite tracks from We Don't Trust You and use those ideas to build 2 original beats. If you're looking for tools to make this style of music faster and easier, be sure to check out the free kits over at audioarchive.com. And if you want the deluxe versions of sound kits, don't forget to use the discount code before it expires in a week. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one with more beats and more breakdowns. Peace.